Guys, I'm glad you're here. So I want to show you a little bit of behind the scenes of my studio slash office, and perhaps I can give you some ideas on how to create a productive and inspiring studio for yourself as well. And maybe if you've got suggestions for ideas for me to improve my studio, I'd love to hear it as well. So what I love about when I walk into my studio, before the entrance door is we've got these frames of our family in here that we put. So there's important moments like Hendrix being born. That's his very first photo. And then over on this side we've got Frankie and Brody, our cavoodle. But yeah, just I'm sure many of you know, I'm very family oriented. But anyway, let's walk into my studio. So this is the entrance, and usually the first thing I would do, get on my desk. So I've got two monitors running. And usually the windows that I have opened up is my KPIs, my P&Ls. I have my Google Calendar in there, and I'd either be doing more strategic stuff. I'd be doing creative stuff like editing. So if I'm editing, I'll probably have I'll have Premiere Pro open on this window, and then maybe on this window, if I'm doing some like effects, I might have After Effects running in there. If I'm editing audio or mixing audio, I've got my mic here, my condenser microphone here is what I use for my Facebook Lives as well. And I love this idea of having a swivel arm as well. Is really helpful. Yeah, I've got my speakers, I've got my mixer in there. So yeah, I might have audio, I might be doing Adobe Audition if I'm editing audio, or even podcasts for that as well. And then over here, I've got my bookshelf. I've actually simplified that quite a bit. I've gotten rid of the stuff that I feel I wasn't really going to read later down the track. So a lot of books around spirituality and self-development, mindset, business, of course. A lot of music stuff as well here. And of course my whiteboard, which I find is very important. Mostly what's in there is more me keeping track of numbers, some important informations, like for example like Facebook conversions, like important data that I want to be able to refer to every now and then. I might even even a bar here might look at some of the projects that I'm currently doing and how I'm progressing more of a bigger level. I've even got a mini whiteboard over here if I ever have any sudden ideas come up. So I've got that handy as well. And as you might notice, I've got, it's very important for me to have other things that I'm passionate about in my studio, like my music. So I've got a guitar close by in there. I've got my amp here. So for example, if I'm editing and I'm waiting for that to export and I've got some time, I'll have to just pick up the guitar, turn the amp on, and then start playing. So over here, I've got my gym equipment, a little bench that I set up. I use this weights here, which is what's the name of these things? A Y bell. I find it so useful for doing different body parts. So I'm not sure if you have a gym at home and you're probably considering one at this time. So I guess what's important in creating a studio or an office for me, it's a place we're going to spend a lot of time. It's one that needs to inspire you, right? So that's very important. So you want to be able to walk in, and it's going to take your energy level up. Something going to inspire you. So even when I'm working out, and I've got posters of Bruce Lee here. I've got like behind that door, I've got affirmations. So think about how you're going to set up your studio. So it's actually going to inspire you. And then the second thing I find is really important as well is having an environment that gives you access to maintaining those really important habits, right? So for me, like fitness and workouts, I'm having my gym in here, my gym equipment in here is really important. My equipment, to keep like my guitars, to maintain my passion in music. So what's cool about this, I've got this cavity as well in the wall where we've got our production equipment. Whenever we do, that's where I keep all the equipment for our video productions. And yeah, I've got lighting equipment all set up. I've got cameras here when I'm doing Facebook Live, or everything's set up So it's easy access for me if I ever have a need to, either shoot a video, take a photo, whatever it is that inspires me to engage more in my passions. So I hope this inspired you guys. And if you've got any ideas of how I can improve my studio as well, I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, I'd love to see what yours looks like as well. So catch you soon. Have an awesome week.